As violence escalates in Iraq, the president says he's weighing his options. Was everything we did in Iraq in vain? With me now, former U.S. ambassador to Iraq and former deputy national security advisor for President G.W. Bush, Ambassador James Jeffrey. Good evening, Ambassador. You have extensive experience with Iraq, serving as our ambassador. Is Iraq on the brink of total collapse?
Judge, Iraq is on the brink of total collapse, and as you started the segment, that's something we should all worry about.
Why is this happening?
It starts with the fact that Iraq was basically an artificial creation after World War I. When we went in, and we didn't go in for simple reasons. We went in because Iraq had been a problem since Saddam took power in 1980, and it was a threat to the region. When we went in 2003, we thought that a Western constitutional system could paper over the divisions between Sunni Arabs, Shia Arabs, Kurds, and the culture of violence that had built up over decades. In the end, we were wrong. We didn't succeed in that regard. We succeeded militarily, as you just heard, but we didn't succeed in changing the underlying culture of that country.
Well, I think, Ambassador, didn't Prime Minister Maliki kind of take away some of the impetus we had by literally letting go those who were Sunnis that we had already trained and spent enormous amount of time and effort training as part of the police as well? Isn't al-Maliki partially responsible for this?
Oh, absolutely. He led a sectarian government. He ignored, and to some degree, bullied what we call the Sawa, or the awakening Arabs. They did not get jobs as promised. They were only reluctantly paid. But again, the problem goes further than Maliki. Many of the Sunni Arabs did not want to acknowledge the fact that 80% of the country is Shia Arab or Kurdish, and thus if it's going to be democratic, they're not going to be in the driver's seat as they were under Saddam. So there's plenty of blame to put on every side here, I'm afraid.
You know, Senator McCain says that the president should fire his national security team. Now, you're a former deputy national security advisor. What do you think of that?
First, having been one, I know how difficult it is. Secondly, having worked in this administration and knowing very well all of these people, I'll reserve judgment. But in the end, I think this is a very important point, Judge. Without any doubt, the decisions being taken are those of President Obama. Whether you like them or don't like them, or I like them or don't like them, it isn't that he's being badly advised. He's being well advised in many cases, but he sees the world perhaps differently than certainly Senator McCain does, and to some degree the way I do.
Well, but what's interesting is when you get someone like Susan Rice, you know, who says it was that video, or she's saying that Bergdahl served a distinction. I mean, you wonder, I mean, and I agree with you, it's ultimately the president. But at the same time, you know, when his people go on and say things that are clearly not true, you have to wonder if they're in the loop themselves.
You're pursuing an interesting line of argument, but as I said, I've worked and know these people, so I'll just reserve judgment at this point.
All right. What should Obama do in Iraq right now?
Okay. Judge, he's got two problems. One, and you've shown it on the map, the colonel laid it out, we've got a growing Islamic, radical, al-Qaeda offshoot state between Syria and Iraq. The president was right yesterday when he said we can't solve this with troops on the ground. We need local people to rise up, as happened in 2007 against al-Qaeda in Iraq. But to do that, that requires the right government in Baghdad, that requires work, diplomatic work in the region, all of the things the president said. We might be able to provide diplomatic assistance, pressure the Maliki government, or whoever comes after Maliki, and provide military support, including, and here I disagree with the Colonel, air support. But we can't do the job ourselves. We've learned that. But that's a longer-term thing. Right now, tonight, these ISIS motorized columns are moving to the south and north of Baghdad and to certain other Shia states. That is, they've moved out of the Sunni Arab area, and they're basically trying to invade the Shia Arab areas. At the core of their philosophy is killing Shia. If we don't intervene to provide air support for the Iraqi army, which is demoralized and shattered right now, these people are going to seize much of parts of the Shia area, and that will suck Iran in, and we're going to be faced with a regional war from Lebanon and the Mediterranean till Iran. That's my fear. That's where the president needs to act.
All right, Ambassador James Jeffrey, thank you so much for your insight. And coming up, the latest IRS shocker, plus Senator John McCain weighs in on the Bergdahl trade. Stay with us.